So I'm in Ioannina I, and it's a university town or city in Greece. And you see behind me, it says ANTIFA, it's French. And this is how a lot of these problems start, is because there's Palestine flags everywhere. Like, you've got this really nice little town with a lot of Christian churches and Christian values, stable families. And then you've got like this radical left woke nonsense going into all the universities. And what's happening is it's getting funded by the Chinese, Russia and the Middle East, because they want to break the West from within. And like, these people are nasty. Like, they are nasty. Wherever they go, they basically want revolution, and they call themselves like left, but they're far left, and anything that goes down, they're there destroying. They destroy stuff. They're like one of the main problems with society today. They're literally just trying to cause revolution, but they don't have like a valid thing to replace it with that works. Like Winston Churchill said, he said something like, democracy is awful, but it's the best thing we got. I'm paraphrasing. The thing is, all these like ideas, like communism, Marxism, things like that, they all sound really nice on paper, and they just play straight into like young people's dissatisfaction moods. And instead of like learning to control moods and whatnot and trying to make the world better, they just think, we'll just cause a revolution. But with revolution, not only do you get like a lot of violence and upheaval and destruction in the process, if there was actually a change, and who's to say like a new system would work? Because ultimately the problem is corruption. Like, something like communism or Marxism could probably work if you had a perfect human being or perfect human beings at the top doing it. But it says in the Bible that like man has to flee from love of power and love of money. And in the women thing, it's because human beings can't, it says flee, not like mess around with it, and it's because we can't handle it. That's why you just see so many dictators who start off not meaning well, and then like Mugabe, Putin, they all start off well, and then when things are harder than they anticipated and things don't work, and people start getting disgruntled, they start to hold on to power using any means possible, and then that eventuates to violence. That's why democracy, for all its faults, is the only way, because you can vote someone out in 4 months, 4 years, or 6 years, and like I said, it's not perfect, but at least if somebody's going down that authoritarian route, you can just elect them out. And that's why America, for all its faults, I stand by what it believes in, because even though there's a lot of corruption in America and whatnot, it's in one of their core principles is free and fair elections. And like, America's really divided right now, but it still does have free, fair elections. Like if you want proof of that, Donald Trump got in. And the fact they tried to shoot him the other day just shows that as well, because they're worried about him getting in. But we're always talking about like, when schools are teaching about don't be far right, don't be fascist, blah blah blah. The far left are worse than the far right. I mean, the far right barely exists anymore. I mean, the English Defence League, who got banned by the Prime Minister this morning, haven't been active for 10 years. It's just so stupid. And it's the freaking radical left that are the problem at the moment. I'm not saying that like far right extremism isn't never a problem, because you're always going to have people on the far right. But at the moment, the far left are the problem, and they've just been unchecked for years. And a big part of that issue is universities. And all these Antifa people, because problems they say they create like a culture where social proof, you know, like if you do this then you're popular and you're part of the group. If you go against it, like you say you're a Tory, then you just get ousted. And it's really problematic, you know, the fact that like the brightest young minds in the country are the most vulnerable age, leaving home, 18, to go to a university in another town, city, and they're just being like brainwashed with all this like radical extremism, leftist extremism. Anyway, this is my thoughts. Don't join Antifa. Goodbye.